So today we're going to talk about Tibetan singing bowls and other instruments. And I start by saying, in the beginning of time, wind created sound, and that's vibration. So sound is recognized as the womb from which the visible and the invisible emerged. So the bowls go back to China, which the Himalayas are part of, back to 1600 BC. Bowls were known around the 11th century BC and are the oldest objects described as singing bowls. It's said that the sound vibrations come from the heavens and they were interpreted by the heart, the place where harmony arises. It was through tones and music and rituals that brought people's inner feelings and external conduct into balance to establish peace. The singing bowl is essentially a heart-oriented experience. So there are several different kinds of bowls, and the bowls are made from 7 different metals. And those metals are gold for the sun, silver for the moon, mercury for Mercury, copper for Venus, iron for Mars, tin for Jupiter, and lead for Saturn. So these were all put together and melted, and the monks prayed over them and chanted over them, which is what makes them healing instruments, not just sound, but also healing. The hot metal was poured onto a flat stone, and when it was cool, it was beaten into the shape of a bowl. And if you look closely, you can see the hammer marks on the bowl. So hammer marks. Now, if it's a smooth bowl, then it was manufactured. So unless you can see the hammer marks on it, it's not an authentic Tibetan singing bowl. The Buddhism metal dishes and chalices on the altars in the monasteries were honored as ritual objects. So the true Tibetan bowl is said to contain more silver and tin, giving it a dull luster, whereas the Nepalese bowls have a golden glow to them. So in the ancient times, the sound was used as a tool for self-transformation. They would gong, you'd place the bowl in the palm of your hand and hold it away from your body and gong it softly with a wooden mallet. These are called mallets. And some have cloth on them, and some say that they're monk's cloth. Otherwise, some of them just have the wood, and it will sing either way. But I like it better with the muted sound with the cloth. So they would hold it away from the body, gong it softly with the wooden mallet, and with your eyes closed, you absorb the sound. You listen not only with your ears, but how you also get in touch with how it makes you feel and how your body responds to it. So sometimes you'll hear 2 tones, and that's a good thing. And sometimes it's just 1. But it's a unique experience for every person. And when you go to buy a bowl, I would never order a bowl online, because I like to hold it, I like to sing it, I like to see if it resonates with me. And usually that's how you'll pick out a bowl, is it will resonate with you. Because the first time I tried a bowl, it wouldn't sing for me at all, but it sang for my friend. And then she picked up one that wouldn't sing for her, but it sang for me. You really need to try it all yourself to pick out a bowl. Now, what's nice about the Tibetan bowls for the healing is that you can place them on the body. You cannot do that with the crystal bowls. They're too heavy, and they're not meant for that. These bowls were meant to be placed on the body for healing. And it's that vibration. So there's also other instruments besides the bowls. Well, first of all, I want to say you can tell which province they're from by their shape. There's 3 provinces in the Himalayas: Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan. And you can tell which one they're from by the shape. This one has a rounded side and a flat bottom. That's Nepal. If it is flat on the sides and flat on the bottom, it's Bhutan. And if it just looks like a regular bowl, a cereal bowl, then it's Tibetan. So that's how you can tell which province they're from. So now there are other instruments. These are called tingshaws, and they're quite heavy. So if you wanted to buy some and they're not heavy, they're not authentic. These are very thick and they're very heavy. And they also have symbols drawn into the bottoms of them. And some have 3 symbols, some have 1. So these are called practitioner tingshaws. They have all these symbols on the top, and they're quite heavy. Now the other ones are called monastery, and they're smooth. And the monastery ones are used to open a prayer session, close a prayer session. I use them when I'm done with a Reiki session. Some massage therapists use them at the end of a massage session. So, and this one has 1 symbol. So now, when you use these in healing, you hold them this way. You hold them right next to tingshaws, they're called, and you hit it 3 times, and it rings, and you take it down a body part and you listen. If you hear a chattering sound, there's a blockage of energy there. So you would just keep doing it until that sound goes away, and you can actually heal with the tingshaws. So now there also are bells, and they come in 3 different sizes, and each one has a face on it. I don't know if you can see that. I like to think that that's Kuan Yin. It's a woman, and each one has that face on it, and then it has a counterpart. This is its counterpart, and the tops should match. So this is called a Ganta, and this is called a Dorji. The male Dorji, Ganta the female. So when you use these in healing, you place the male on the body and you ring the bell over it, and they work together. Now, each size has a matching Ganta, Dorji. And now, if you look on the inside, I don't know if you can see it, but there are petals, lotus petals.
Mm-hmm.
And the number of petals tells you which part of the body to use that particular bell on. If it's a high number, you work on the higher chakras. If it's a lower number, you work on the lower chakras. And they will have either the lotus petal or star points. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Star points. So it's going to be one or the other. Now also there are gongs, and my gong is very special to me. I actually did buy that one online, but I bought it from a very reputable company in California that I trust. And this gong is called the bullseye gong. I'll hold it up later. But when you hit that with the gonger, I can feel it in my entire body.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it on the floor. I can feel it. I can feel the vibration on my feet. And if you hold your hand in front of the middle part, you can feel like a wind coming off of it. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was working at the senior center, I took all my bowls one day and did a presentation there. And I put the gong on the table, and I would have people come up and either put their back towards the gong or their front,
Mhm.
and it would go. And one lady told me the next day that she never slept better in her life
Mhm.
as of that, as the night that I gonged her.
Mhm.
The
And you
gong,
can feel the vibration coming through the person's body when you put your hand on the other side of their body. It's amazing.
yeah, yeah, people love that gong. And Cindy's asked for it when I'm gone. um,
It's special,
yeah,
really is.
it just everywhere I take it, people are just like, use the gong, use the gong. But anyway, so a little bit more about the healing part of the bowls. And they come in all different sizes. And what I did was I had like 19 bowls. I found a website that had the sound for each chakra, and I actually have a bowl for each chakra. And when someone comes and I know that they have a blockage somewhere, I can put those bowls right on their body and gong it and gong it and gong it. And they usually work. I would say 8 times out of 10, they work. Um, I had a friend who had been in a car accident, and she had a back problem. And she asked me if I could do the bowls, and I did. And she said that the pain went away and it was gone. And 6 months later, she told me it was still gone. So
Well,
a lot of people will tell you that. And I've done a lot of health fairs, and I have one big bowl that I call it my head bowl. It's quite large, and I put it upside down on your head, gently gong it. And if you close your eyes, you think you're floating out in space somewhere.
mhm.
And it will also, it will drain the sinuses. Not always. I try to do it on myself, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But and it'll get rid of a headache. And I have one at one fair, I had a deaf woman, and I put that bowl on her head and gonged it, and the biggest smile came across her face. It was really cool.
Is that
So
the big, big bowl, Laura? Is that the big one? Like
the
my
big one,
favorite?
yeah, yeah,
Oh my gosh, that bowl is amazing.
it is.
Mhm.
The way I came to that bowl, I have it here. It's kind of heavy, but it's a pretty big bowl.
I love that
You
bowl.
can see the hair too.
Mhm.
Um, but anyway, and it has a very, very deep, deep tone to it.
Hmm.
And so when I took the classes, I went through Hartford Hospital through their alternative medicine department. And it was 3 sets of classes. And the first class was a one bowl healing. And what that was is for a person in a chair. And you set them in the chair, and you start at the head, and you just ring the bowl, sing the bowl, and you go down their back all the way down, and you go around to the front, and you start at the feet, and you come all the way up the body back up to the top of the head. So that would be a one bowl healing on a person in a chair. And we learned a lot about history and the different tones, and a lot of that I don't remember. But then the second class was a 3 bowl healing, and that was with someone laying on on a massage table or in bed, and you put one bowl at the head, one bowl on the body, and one bowl at the feet, and you gong them in succession, and you just get like a rhythm going. I mean, I try to count like to at least 4 between each hit, and you just keep that up for a period of time, and you kind of know when it's done. You just use your intuition, and that's a 3 bowl healing. Then the last class, the master class, was 9 bowls, and it was 3 around the head, 3 on the body, and 3 at the feet. And that was very interesting. We practiced on each other, and it was quite interesting. But and it does work. You have to just keep that rhythm going. And when I say those bowls go around the head, we had copper tubes with suction cups on the top, and you put the bowl upside down and suction it on the tube. So it's right next to their ears and at the top of their head. Um, and you just keep a rhythm going, and you just keep going. It's just like Reiki, you know how long to stay at one particular place. So I think that's about. So the reason I like these bowls better than the crystal bowls are beautiful for sound healing, but these bowls are meant to be placed on the body because you actually, you don't just hear the sound, you feel the vibration. That big bowl that I have, I put that on people's bellies and sing it, and it vibrates, and it has this low tone, and people are just like, wow, that feels so good. I know I've done Cindy, I know I've done that on Katrina.
Yeah.
They can coach for that.
Yeah.
But one woman who had ovarian cancer, I used to put that bowl on her stomach and sing it, and she would say, it feels like something's being drawn right out of my body, drawn right up into that bowl. And I've had one other person tell me the same thing. And what's cool is, like, when I do the hospice work, certain patients they'll let me use bowls with, especially ALS patients, because, and I didn't know this, I thought ALS people couldn't feel or move. They can't move, they can feel. And so those bowls on the body of ALS patients, and they love it. I had one woman, her boyfriend would call me and say, Pam really wants you to come again this week because she loves bowls.
Yeah.
And the only thing she could move was her head. But she loved the bowls. And then I recently had a young man, he was only 55 years old, and he couldn't move anything either, but and he couldn't even talk. But he would smile every time I walked in the room with the bowls. And one time he fell asleep. And when I left, the wife was in the other room, and I said, okay, he's asleep. And she's like, what? He does this. I'm like, well, he's sleeping now. So I know they work. I absolutely know they work. So, and in another example, with the tingshaws, I was doing a radio show one time, and the woman who was interviewing me, she said, well, try those tingshaws on my left arm and see if you pick anything up. Well, of course I did. Right at the shoulder, it started chattering. And I said, something going on in your shoulder? And she goes, yeah, I just had rotator cuff surgery. So, you get a lot of confirmations when you do this kind of work, and that makes it all so worthwhile. But I guess with that, with the mallet, and there are different kinds of gongers. There's different kinds of gongs. There's actually planetary gongs, which are gigantic gongs. They're probably at least 5 feet in circumference, and they're tuned to different planets, and they're amazing. There's a group here called the Conduit, and they put you in a gravity chair between 2 of those planetary gongs, and they put a mask over your eyes, and they just
Whoa.
gong
Yeah.
them. And honest to God, you feel like you're floating in outer space. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And then there's Tibetan gongs, which look like upside down frying pans without a handle. They have a big lip all around the edges of them, and they have signs on them that are engraved in the metal. I had one and I didn't really care for the sound of it, so I gave it away. I give a lot of stuff away. But anyway, that's basically the basic info. Oh, and I just want to tell you a funny story. I was going out to visit my sister in Wisconsin, and I wanted to bring a bowl with me because my family out there had never seen the Tibetan singing bowls. So I wanted to bring one with me. So I put it in my carry-on so it wouldn't get lost. And as it's going through the x-ray, of course, the TSA woman stopped it, opened up the bag, pulled out the bowl, and she looked at me and she said, "What is this?" And it's a Tibetan singing bowl. And she just looked at me kind of strange, and she handed it back to me and she said, "Make it sing." Pulled out my mallet, started singing that bowl, and it was singing loud. And she's like, "Wow,
Oh my God.
come over here, you can see this." They were afraid I was going to use it as a weapon because some of them are quite heavy. So yeah, that was my funny bowl story.
Oh, that is cute.
So you mentioned that the bowls were rounded and then flat on the bottom, but you just showed us one that has the gripper. Can you tell us the difference?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is called a pedestal bowl. It's because you can hang on to it and you can heal yourself with it. You can just go right up the body.
Yeah.
You can go hold it right at a special spot.
Mm.
The ones you can't. The other ones you have to hold in your hand like this, and then go like up and down like this. But with the pedestal bowl,
Yeah. Move it around easily.
That's called a pedestal bowl.
Okay, nice. And then the big one you said was heavy that you put over the head. How do you hold it so it can still sing?
Oh, it just does.
Okay.
I don't hold it in one hand. I either put it on the body or I put it on their head or I lay it on a part
So
of
it
their,
rests on their skull?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were holding it away from the
Now, what
skull.
I do is this is called the gripper, and
Uh-huh.
it's just that stuff that you put on your shelves,
Yeah.
so stuff doesn't slide.
Yeah.
And I put that on there first,
Okay.
so it doesn't slide off of their head.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I always wondered if you would make a mistake, how that would turn out.
Whoops.
I've had it fall off of people's head before. Yeah, and you can't touch anything. So if they have like a ponytail or something, it won't work.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
can't be touching anything. And you gently gong it. And what they're hearing and what you're hearing outside of it are two totally different things.
Yeah,
They're
sure.
loud. You're hearing it very soft. And I'll have people come over and say, "Put your ear down next to that bowl," and you'll hear what she's hearing.
Mhm.
And it's loud.
Yeah.
And the big one, when I sing that big one, you can see it vibrate. You can actually see it vibrating.
Yeah.
And you can feel the energy. If you put your hand like this far away, you'll feel a rush coming off of that bowl. And that's energy.
Yeah. Well, I
Sound
can
is-
imagine too that the vibration from the bowl is actually going internally because we're 90% water. And so
Right.
all of the fluids are picking up on that vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
amazing.
you feel that vibration anywhere on your body when she sings it on you. You can
Yeah.
touch the legs, like if it's on your stomach. I love that ball.
Awesome.
So, Laura, you made me think when I got my first bowl,
Yeah.
I ordered it online from eBay way back in the day. And I remember they're like, "Oh, it's a authentic bowl from Tibet," and so on and so forth. And I got it and I'm like, there's this beat up bowl. Like when you said that there's like the marks. And so I'm kind of like disappointed. I'm like, oh, it's all beat up looking, right? Instead of really smooth like the ones I've seen.
Like
I
You
hammered.
got the real deal.
Right.
The hammered one.
It's still my only bowl. It's the only one that I have that looks like that. The sound it's nice. It's better than the manufactured one. Because I'm like, the manufactured one, I bought that from a store and I sang it in person. And I'm like, this is nice. I like it. But there's something about my beat up looking bowl that obviously when you look at it, you can tell
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was handmade.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
like it's it's a difference. So it made me laugh when you said that because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this great bowl, and I'm like, what? I'm gonna learn my language. I was like, what the heck is this? But
And now they have colored ones too.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the markings all over them, but those are all manufactured.
Yeah. I don't like, because to me, you're putting chemicals into I don't know. I'm not all about that. I
There's
like
no
the natural.
old manufactured ones, right? Like it's just made.
They have
And then
nice sound.
and made, right? Like all the energy of everything has gone into that. So I know what you
Mhm.
said. It's just nothing to the mass manufactured things, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose you can still get by putting in your own attention, but I guess the manufacturer having the intention in the first place makes a big difference.
You
Mhm.
can. It's like something that is handmade versus something. I mean, you get it. You put your own energy into it.
Right. Yeah.
How do you make something like the meals that are made with love versus just the
Mhm.
stuff that's,
Right.
you know what I
Fine.
mean?
It's pre-made. Yep.
But the manufactured ones, though, they're still good for sound,
Oh, they're still
but
great.
they're not for healing.
Mm.
Not to put on the body.
Yeah.
So how about putting your intention into the bowl?
Yeah.
Would that
Oh,
change the vibrations?
well, I don't know if it would change the vibration, but I mean, healing is all about intention, so I'm sure it would work.
Yeah.
But it's just not the same as these were meant for healing.
Right. They were
Made for healing. So
forerunner. Yeah.
there is a difference in the vibration.
Laura, I have another question. When you were a champion of women's softball, you were in the bowls at that time? Did you use that for sport medicine?
No. Actually, when I was playing sports, I wasn't into any of this stuff.
Okay.
No, not until I was like almost 60 is when I
Wow.
Yeah.
really, and the way I got into it, Charlie's an interesting story too. I was at a Reiki share and at my massage therapist's office, and there was about 6 of us, and one of them was a woman who teaches the bowls, and she brought a bowl with her, and we always do a little meditation at the beginning. And she came around with the bowl and she was singing the bowl, and she came around and she put it in front of each of us, in front of our heart chakra. And when she got to me, it got really loud, totally different from anyone else. It got really, really loud. And I'm just sitting there going, does that mean I have a heart problem? Or what?
No, it's because you have a big heart.
So
That's what that's about.
So afterward, she
Hmm.
said questions, and I didn't say anything, but somebody else said, "How come it's so loud in front of Laura?" And she looked at me and she said, "What did you do today? What was your day like today?" And I said, "I did 3 hospice Reiki visits." She's like, "That's why your energy level is up
Mhm.
here, and the bowl picked up on that on your end.
Mhm.
It got loud." So
Mhm.
That's
another
amazing.
confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fascinating. They really are. They're fascinating.
Yeah.
Are we going to do a demonstration or meditation?
Yeah, but you never hear it though, and I don't know why. Everyone else does. I don't know if you'll hear it.
Yeah, test it. Let me see.
Okay. All right, give it a shot. I'm going to sing the big one.
Good job.
It's amazing. Now, do you all have to mute? Do you usually have to mute for this?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody mute. Can you mute, Charlie?
Oh, I'll mute. Okay.
Okay, let me see if you can hear this. Can you hear it? Anybody?
No, I think you have to
No?
switch your mic.
I thought I did. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I didn't. I didn't. Sorry. Okay. Now
there we
we'll see
go.
if you can hear it.
Yes.
Let me get it going.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Turn that off.
Can you turn your camera towards your gong, Laura? Or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
There she is.
That's why it's called a bullseye. And you can actually sing a gong. If you have the right kind of tool, you can go right around the outside of it and it will actually sing.
Wow.
And I didn't know that until like a year ago.
So Charlie, were you able to hear that time?
I turned the volume up 100%, and I've heard a little bit. Just if I hold the computer to my ear,
Okay.
it was very faint.
Yeah.
Well, at least you could hear it. That's a step up. We'll have to work on that.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I have artificial hearing.
Could be a component.
Artificial ears.
Yeah.
I have hearing aids too, Charlie.
And you hear fine, so I don't get it. It's a mystery.
I don't know. What if you wore the earbuds?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Next time.
That might work. That was Nikki's suggestion. I
Yeah.
won't take credit. I won't take credit for that.
I wonder if a lot of it isn't various AI sound filtering systems like Laura can hear it because she's in the room, but if she listened to it over the surface like we do, maybe she wouldn't hear it as well.
Yes,
So
I had to buy
everything,
I had to buy a
ev
special microphone.
yeah, everything we deal with has a noise canceling feature to it.
Mhm.
So I'm not surprised when it backfires on us.
Huh.
But you want to hear the funny part about this, Nikki? I feel better now.
Yay.
I didn't feel
Yay.
it at the beginning, and now I
Yep.
do.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, Laura, leave your bowl with your handle on it near you and bowl your stomach today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've been using my pendulum too,
Yeah.
Right.
and it actually works. It goes counterclockwise for a
Or
while,
clockwise.
and
Yep.
then it will stop, and then it will go clockwise.
Then it
Mm.
corrects. Very
I'm
nice.
so happy to hear that, Laura.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Yep.
Good. I'm glad it's working for you.
Yeah. And I love the sound of the deep, big bowl.
Oh,
Oh,
The
yes.
singing of it. I
Oh,
just
Yep.
love
if you
that.
could hear
It's
that in person, Nikki,
It's
oh,
yeah.
awesome.
amazing.
Mhm.
And how I came to that bowl, I was at a harbor
Holistic.
festival in Massachusetts, and it was a big festival, so they had all these vendors and tents and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a guy from Boston there, and he had all these bowls, and that bowl was one of them. And I saw it, and I kept going over and singing it, and then I'd walk away, and I think, nah, it's got to cost a small fortune, because I mean, a little bowl like this is like $80, so you can only imagine how much a big bowl would cost. So I kept going back, playing it, walk away. I kept getting drawn back to it. And finally, the guy who was Tibetan, he walked over to me and he said, "You like that bowl?" And I said, "I love that bowl." And he said, "What would you do with it?" And I said, I use it in healing. I'm a certified sound healer, and I use the bowls in healing. I place them on the bodies and try to help people and heal them. And he was like, "And how much do you think it costs?" And I said, "I have no idea, but I'm sure it's out of my price range." And he said, "Would $150 be out of your price range?"
There you go.
And I'm like, "Sold."
So.
Yeah.
Today, that bowl would probably go for 500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
easy.
So you never know, you got to tell them what
Yep.
it means to you.
Mhm.
And I mean, and he had no overhead because he didn't have a store anywhere. He sells strictly online, but he does do festivals and stuff. So I really lucked out with that bowl.
That's nice.
Nice.
Good deal. And welcome, Cyrus. If you have any questions or want to share any wisdom, you're welcome.
Hi everyone.
Oh,
I'm still laying in bed, hence my video's off, and I was a little bit late. But I'm getting into all this stuff. The sound meditation, I think one of Charlie's granddaughters or daughter, or anyways, one of his family members started doing some sound meditation in-person yoga, and I found it really wonderful. I've done the two of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is really cool stuff. I'm just
Wonderful.
kind of absorbing everything.
Awesome.
nice.
Thank you.
Welcome.
A lot of yoga studios use the bowls too and have sound healing at the yoga studios.
Yeah, they do at the Stafford one. Yeah.
And now the guy that bought one of I had an even bigger bowl, but I couldn't carry it anywhere, so I sold it. But you could stand in it
Oh my gosh.
and gong it. But the guy that bought it from me, he's now doing sound healing in swimming pools where you lay on a mattress, a rubber mattress, with the mask over your eyes, and you just float in the water, and they play the bowls on the side of the pool.
That's amazing.
How cool would that be?
Mhm. Water conducts all of that.
But he's charging a lot of money for it, though. See, I don't I don't believe
I
it.
know. I know. Laura and I are weird. We're into doing things for free, and the world is just wanting to charge for everything. And I'm having a hard time with it. I got to be honest with you.
Well,
I mean, seriously, would you pay $100 to float in somebody's pool and listen to Tibetan singing bowls?
a lot of people do that, especially if they're in pain or having health issues and there's
If
nothing
you
else
have
to
the
try.
money. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
I would have
I
loved to have
bet.
done it. I can't afford $100.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, like not everybody can,
Right.
but whatever.
But it's a new age, and people are learning that the abundance of money is that there's money everywhere. We just have to figure out how to garner that piece of it that allow us to do these healings. I've got some people in my life that just go for healings every single week. Red light
Yeah.
therapy, massages, pedicures, everything. Every single week they're one after the other. And it's like, how do you afford that? And they
Mm,
just make it a part of their living. It's like, okay, I have a decent salary and I can make the commissions over here and I can sell a service over there as a side gig. And so they use all that money for themselves for the self-healing.
So it's always a thought about what the value is to you.
Yeah,
And people forget money is an energy.
that's
So
true.
it's how you draw that to you.
That's
Um,
mhm.
But I mean, I have a client that every week he's either buying something from me or getting a service from me or something. And I would be like, save your money, do this, do that, or do whatever. But it is the value.
yeah,
I mean, sometimes they get offended because they like your energy, they like what you give to them, they like the value that you bring to their lives. So sometimes I mean, if the value is to them, then that's what it is. But the thought, though, too, like even with money, there is no lack. There is abundance of that everywhere. It's an
true.
energy. So the way that you think about it and how you draw it to you makes a difference.
Yeah. And the distribution of what people call wealth is
Exactly.
nothing more than an energetic body that you're moving around.
Right.
Think of it as
But
playing a game.
right. But I'm like, even with the services,
Yeah,
I charge, but I also do freebies. And I make sure that I do that because that's me being
Balances.
service, right? The balance, right?
Yep.
right.
And even with what I do charge, if somebody absolutely can't afford it, that's why we always have the barter system as well. You know,
Hmm.
you have something you can give me. I have something I can give you. I have girlfriends that I do this with all the time. You
Exactly.
know,
Hmm.
so it's not always take, it's give and take. It's always a balance.
And you don't want to exploit the healer either by using all of their time and energy without
Hmm.
paying them. So it's like there is, like you say, give and take. It's a
Right.
balance and no exploitation. You don't want to exploit anybody.
Exactly. And
It's a
that's one
two-way
of my
street.
with my guides too. I will never exploit anyone. You will always get 100% of everything that I can do every time.
Yeah.
In my observation of life is no matter how frugal people are, no matter what their budgets are, if they really want something, they manage to
They
manifest
find
it.
a way.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
And Laura, I admire your, you were so prominent in baseball, softball sports, and helping women come into their own. But
Hmm.
your transition into what you did later in life, like 60 years of
Yeah.
age, getting
I know,
Right.
involved in bells and bowls.
Reiki.
everything.
Yeah.
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 So you're never too old to make a transition into
Nope.
something else.
I know.
Absolutely.
My friends from my softball years would never believe what I'm doing now.
No, but they'd probably benefit from it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've
I
lived
just did
through
a
all of it.
I
You've
just did a
got science
funeral
proving
service.
it. Yeah.
I just did a funeral service for my shortstop a couple of weeks ago. I haven't seen her in years, but she was my shortstop for years and a friend. And we even took a vacation together one time. But and I brought that up at the when I started the softball league when we had that first tryout and all those women showed up and I saw her throw and hit the ball and I'm like, I want her on my team. And I got her and she just passed away from dementia, but I did her funeral service and that felt really good
Yeah.
that I could do that for her.
Yeah. Full
Mm.
cycle.
Another lifetime ago.
Right. And it's amazing that we can all live that extra couple of life cycles
Yeah, yeah.
with technology and preventive health and all the healings.
Yeah.
By the way, I talked to Bishop Mark Leibowitz, and he's going to do a presentation for us sometime. He
Excellent.
had this enlightening experience of energy. He was a big time meditator and all. He had this tremendous awakening feeling. Anyway, he'll share that with us sometime.
Nice.
Cool. Very cool.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Laura. I'm glad you
Yes, thank you.
stuck it out. I think you were
Right.
on
I hope-
here a few weeks back, not feeling well, and by the end you were all fine.
I know.
I
So
know.
I hope you continue
you
to feel
guys.
better, my friend.
Yeah,
It's
we're
all
good
you
for the
guys.
soul.
All right.
So where'd
That's
Dolly
what-
go? She was on TV.
Yeah, I don't know. She dropped
That was
off.
cute. She was on a TV set. An old one.
Yeah.
So, what's on the agenda for next week? Do you know?
Next week, the next 2 weeks are open, and then on the 31st, we're going to have Cindy come and talk about transition. And I wanted to ask you about the statistic. Did you really start at 16?
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
My aunt was a administrator for Burnside Convalescent Home in East Hartford, and they were doing a CNA course.
Uh-huh.
And she asked me if I wanted to take it. And I said, yeah. And I did. And I was actually one of the top people in my class. And then the next year, the state of Connecticut made it mandatory where all LPNs had to take psychiatric training because they
Yeah.
don't get a lot of that in their schooling.
Yeah.
And I asked if I could take that course, which I did, and I got a certificate for. So that was interesting too. So it led me into the whole mind body thing,
Nice.
learning that part. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was writing that statistic on the calendar, and it's like, I think I missed a decade somewhere. She's not that old.
I'm 66.
I
know.
know.
And I'm hiding, if you haven't noticed, with my hand in front of my mouth because my freaking front crown came off my tooth, like all teeth. Yeah, really. Okay. So I'm
That's
masking
humbling.
it. And I'm walking around like somebody broke my jaw and just trying to speak between my lips, you know? Oh well, my plate is being shipped as we speak.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody want to volunteer for next week? Kevin, you haven't been up in a while.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah,
think
but
that's a good idea.
okay.
Kevin, we love your honesty.
Well, maybe we could just come up with a topic and just have a
Sure.
Share.
commu-
Well,
community.
I wouldn't mind expanding on the sound waves and the benefits of the sound waves. I listened to an amazing piece of work the other day, and it was on the fact that we can hum and it stimulates the vagus nerve. And so, but then the whole dialogue went into the value of sound waves and healing.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from that little 20-minute dialogue.
Yeah.
And
Kevin, try this with your partner. That's where that sound om comes from. When you
yes,
say you feel that all the way down your body. And my teacher with the bowls, at the end of a session, we would always do an om hug. We would hug each other and we both do the om out loud
Wow.
and then take it to a hum and you feel it. It's
Feel the
amazing.
vibration. Yeah.
Amazing. Try it with your husband.
yeah, and
That's
apparently
cool.
sound waves go directly to the chakras
Mm-hmm.
and heal all the chakras. So, when you think of how it ties in with Reiki and all sorts of
Everything.
yoga,
All about energy.
even yoga,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
just having the singing bowl in front of your vagus nerve, and that's your biggest nerve in your body. And so the recommendation was Om, or the other one they recommended was 10 minutes of I am, repetitive
Mhm.
I am.
Close.
And
Yeah, those are two are close.
to bring the sound down into your chest, almost as next to your heart. And then they went into explaining the whole uh, treatment of sound waves, and it was used in ancient Egypt and ancient India.
Mhm.
It was, I thought, wow, I don't believe I'm listening to this, knowing that you were going to make a presentation this
Oh,
week.
wow.
Cool.
Well, when the monks got kicked out of the Himalayas by China, they came over here and they brought the bowls with them. That was part of the history that I forgot to mention.
They're not leaving their bowls there.
They brought the bowls over here when they had to
Yeah.
flee the country.
Yeah.
Right.
Talking about healing and history and tradition, uh, I used to have 12 semi-precious gems that would place in a circle around our meeting, and it was picked up the energy, and it was so powerful. I gave them away eventually, but somebody ought to interested in recreating them. Um, Virginia Scene, who was part of our community, has written something like 22 books, and one of the books she wrote has to do with the interpretation that is found in the Bible of the 12 precious gems was off a little bit. So what she did was, through meditation and through the people she worked with, she found out that the two gems or three gems that weren't correctly interpreted. And so when you get the right gems, you have the 12 gems. They were very powerful when we used them, like in Sedona.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. We would have people come through the temple in Sedona, and they would bring their crystals and their grids and their circles and all these things, and they would, what they called it was, I guess it was grid clearing. And they would just set up in a room and they'd say, we need to clear this room. And, it was like, we had so many like people that would come and do energetic exchange. It's like,
Mhm.
I can only do so many massages, but if you want to go clear that room, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, right.
And then there was Marcel Vogel, who was a scientist for IBM. And he's one of the people that made our seeing TVs through fiber optic cable possible. And when he was like, I think it was 12 or 13, 11 or something, the Virgin Mary appeared to him and told him that he'd be involved in Christology. And so when he retired from IBM, he would show people how to take a quartz crystal. He'd show doctors and nurses how to clear it and how to use it in their form of healing. So
Mhm.
life's
Sometimes I put crystals in my bowls and sing them
Mhm.
to clear them.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I have a short little prayer, I guess it is.
Okay.
If you want to, are we set to end?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Mother, Father God, please bring peace to hearts that are hurting, give light to those that are trying to smile, and let the rest of this month be gentle and kind. Amen.
Very
Oh,
nice.
very
Thank you.
nice.
thank you.
What a beautiful way to end. Thank you.
Yes. Everybody have a great day.
All right.
Okay,
See you
take
all next
care.
week. Thanks for coming,
Bye-bye.
Cyrus.
Bye.
Talk soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.